In the previous video, I talked about how casinos are very good at protecting themselves against physical threats. You can't just walk into the casino and steal money or run a scam at a table or something like that and be successful, more or less, nowadays. However, it seems it's relatively simple to socially engineer someone within a casino, get them to provide a username and password, download an attachment, or whatever the case may be, and launch a ransomware attack against a casino. And further, I talked about how they can apply the same methodologies that they use for physical security from the moment you pull into the parking lot to the time you leave the casino in such a way that they could actually protect their network and computer resources much better. In this video, I'm going to dig into that and talk about just what I mean. At a lot of casinos, from the moment you drive into the parking lot or walk through the door, you're being watched, profiled, analyzed, and assessed for threats in some way. When you drive into the parking lot, there are cameras and usually a security patrol making the rounds in the parking lot, making sure that they're suppressing and preventing dangers that could potentially happen before they ever get inside the casino, right? You don't want bad things happening to your guests in a parking lot. You don't want criminal activity going in your parking lot. And you sure don't want that element actually coming into the casino. So they're basically doing logging, monitoring, and alerting right there in the parking lot before they ever get inside the building. If you take this same approach, concept, and methodologies and apply it to an information security program, you could utilize open source intelligence to determine what information about your casino is out there on the internet that an attacker could potentially leverage to gain access. You could use some external vulnerability scans to find out where the weak points are in your perimeter. And you could possibly implement honeypots or deception tactics to determine if you're actually being hacked into. You know, if you look at the kill chain, the recon phase is the noisiest phase of an attacker trying to gain access to your organization. So you definitely want insight to that kind of activity. As you enter the casino, a lot of them, the higher up and high level casinos, have facial recognition, cameras, covert and overt security, watching the people that come in and out. And of course, there are people there to catch you, to try to sell you players cards and things like that. So this is kind of where the internal surveillance starts, is right when you enter the casino. Taking that same approach that the casinos take at the entrance, we can do ingress traffic monitoring. We can do some geolocation blocking, intrusion detection, intrusion prevention. Of course, we could utilize some threat intelligence using MITRE ATT&CK. And let's take a deeper look at MITRE ATT&CK. Similar to how the casino would utilize facial recognition or a database of bad actors that come inside there, do some stuff like card counting and physical attacks and theft and things like that. MITRE ATT&CK can be applied in the same manner to the network level. Utilizing a tool like MITRE ATT&CK Navigator, we can look at various threat groups and their tactics, techniques, and procedures and determine how they are hacking into organizations. Then we take and observe their methodologies, then apply our defenses accordingly to our own network to block, detect, and prevent those threat actors from getting inside the casino network. From the interior of the casino, as you're walking around, playing games, going to the bar, cashing out chips, whatever the case may be, there are a number of security measures that you may or may not take note of as you're moving about, such as video cameras. You've got covert and overt security. Behind the scenes, there's a command center where people are watching cameras, relaying information. You have identity and access control taking place for money, chips, things like that, doors, physical access. You got locks and biometrics throughout the casino. We can take these similar approaches to how they're securing the interior and again apply these to an information security program. Let's take a look at that. Applying those same concepts internally to the information security program and the network, we can have a security operations center where we have everyone looking at logging, monitoring, and alerting. And of course, we could have identity and access management control where we're using biometrics, usernames and passwords, multi-factor authentication, and things like that. Again, taking the same concepts that we use from the physical world and implement them into the security program to make sure the data and network is more secure. So you've had a good night at the casino, you've won lots of money, you cashed your chips out, and you're headed out for the evening. So again, as you leave, you've got covert and overt security monitoring and looking at everyone leaving the building, making sure they're not taking things with them that don't belong to them or they shouldn't have. Similar to how a casino has certain entrances and exits you can only go in and out of, we could limit the ports, ingress and egress on our network to make sure that we're monitoring the traffic on those. We could use data loss protection, data loss prevention, make sure that we don't have data being exfiltrated from the network, people taking things with them that they shouldn't be taking. And we could have logging, monitoring, alerting, triggering incident response in our security operations center or our command center. And all this to make sure that the network and the data